Hello and welcome back to another Rin Reviews. I know it has been a while since I did a review. I'd been meaning to do a couple others, but got busy with life stuff. But I'm here reviewing the new Quiet Place Day One. Overall, I would say this was a great movie. To be honest, I did not like it as much as the first or second Quiet Place movies, though I did still enjoy it. I loved Lupita's performance, loved Joseph's performance. They played their characters very well. One of my main criticisms on the movie is the fact that they did not play into the, fact that they're in New York City, a huge city. And if it is statistically like it was in 2020, there would be at least 8 million people just in New York City themselves. And then like between all the surrounding areas, there's at least 23 million. And, it doesn't really play into that very much, which was kind of upsetting to me that, we didn't get to see more of the, what is going to happen in a huge city with tens of millions of people all running around scared. How are these, creatures, how are the Quiet Place monsters going to be able to, kill all of them, or what's going to happen? And it didn't really explore that as much as I hoped it would. There were scenes where they're in the streets, cars are, car alarms are going off, all this other stuff. You have people running around, people screaming, people asking for help, and then getting, got by the monsters. But it didn't really show that throughout the movie like I hoped it would. And it didn't really, pull that as a major plot point, which I really wished it would have. I will say one of my favorite parts of the movie was the cancer storyline, where, Lupita's character is in hospice, dying from cancer, gets to go to the city. Granted, it is, a very dystopian, very messed up world, and like New York City that she's walking through. But, she gets to walk through this, city again when, her last time being in the city before that was supposed to be her very, very last time, which shows, she has like not a lot of time to live. But then, Joseph Quinn, she meets his character. And after meeting Joseph Quinn's character, she, gets a friend. That's like her first real, like, reciprocated friendship in the movie besides, her hospice caretaker. And she does grow a very close relationship with his character. And, they go wander the city together. They go and get pizza, all this stuff that she wanted to do going back to the city, she gets to do, and she does it with this new friend. And then, in the end, she eventually saves him from the monsters and kind of gets to live out her own sort of happy ending, which I thought was very symbolic, that, she gets to go and, live out the rest of like the rest of her life on her own terms. Because rather than, letting the cancer, get to her and, she dies from, the cancer and her lack of treatment, because, a lot of people have been killed by these monsters, and, you can't make sound, nothing. So she's not really getting any cancer treatment anymore. She was already dying, and she gets to go out on her own terms after helping save her brand new friend and her cat. And I thought that was a very symbolic ending, very incredible ending. A lot of the cinematography in the movie too is absolutely stunning. The scenery, amazing. The different, emotions that are shown throughout the movie, done very, very, very well. One of my favorite scenes was right after everything, hits, all the monsters come down in like the meteor things. Right after that, you get a scene where, she's running through like rubble and, dust. There's a big smoke cloud. So you barely see anything. You're seeing like what she would see, where, you can't see in front of you. You just see a bunch of smoke and dust right in front of you. And then, you see random people popping out of nowhere being like, help. And then, the monster comes and gets them. And I thought that was a very cinematically beautiful scene because, getting to see something from the perspective of one of the characters is always like such a cool thing in a movie. And, there's also all these like the rain scenes where they're like in the rain or when they have to like run through, it's very cool seeing like, the intelligence of the characters in some like spots, like, when they're being chased by the monsters and Joseph's character throws a rock into a car window to make the car alarm. Like very on the fly, smart thinking. I appreciate that in the movie as well. And then another one of my favorite scenes was there was a chase scene inside the sewer. So, they were in a sewer, water's like filling up, and the monsters they can't go into water or they die. So there's one of the monsters chasing them while they're going down this sewer, like they're in the water, like coming up for air and breathing and making noise. And the monster is catching up to them. When the monster catches up to them, it like gets taken into the water and you see it sink down to the bottom of the sewer drain. And I thought that was also a very beautiful scene. But overall, if you were a fan of the first two movies, I would definitely suggest watching this movie. Though I again didn't enjoy it as much as the other two, I still did enjoy it. And overall, my rating for this movie is going to be an 8 out of 10. It was a beautifully cinematic and beautifully story wise movie.